April. It was an accident. We were in a 7-car pileup. Horrendous. I could see what was happening but was powerless to stop it. I had no control over events. Do you realise how frightening that is? To see something happening that you know will probably kill you and you have no control over it. In that instant I realised my time was up. Well, I just surrendered to it. It was like, okay God, I'm all yours. As I was sliding into the crash, I knew I wasn't coming out of that alive. And although in the first instance it was very, very frightening, my next thought was absolute and total calmness. I can't really describe to you how it felt. It was so odd, so different to anything I'd ever felt before, yet so startlingly crystal clear. You know how you make decisions in life that you agonise over for days because you're not sure? Well, this was the complete opposite. I just thought to myself, I'm going to die. Better give this moment to God because I'm not in charge here. It was like a flash, a nanosecond, quickest thought you ever had. When that moment of clarity registered, I felt myself moving. The car was moving right enough, a real concertina effect, but I was moving independently of the car. I was moving upwards, very gently, but definitely moving. What's more, I noticed I wasn't the only one. There were 3 of us. We kind of acknowledged each other like you do when you're letting someone out in traffic. Very strange, yet very normal. I wasn't scared, wasn't fretting or panicking, just incredibly calm. I knew I was out of my body. I could see the wreckage just below me, but it was like watching something on TV. I felt distance from it. I could only have been in that condition for seconds when I heard a voice. Didn't see anyone at first, just a voice. The oddest thing about it was that I knew I was hearing telepathically, inside my head. My rational brain knew this to be unlikely, but yet it was happening. I felt suspended. It's the only way I can describe it, really. I felt suspended in an altered reality, a very pleasant one. The voice told me to relax, that was quite safe, and that help was coming. I thought to myself, well, if help is coming to try to save me, I know I'm already dead. The voice replied, which startled me a bit. I hadn't thought he'd be able to hear me. He told me I was quite correct. The help was an escort to the spirit world. I said, what about the people in the crash? Will they be all right? The voice replied that the others would survive, that 3 of us died, as we call it, because it was our time. I looked around for the other 2 people who had died with me. One had gone and I hadn't even noticed. The other was moving away from me with a group of people I hadn't even seen arrive. I thought to myself, I wonder who's coming for me, and will there be time to have a look at what's left of me in the car? As I thought this, I found myself looking into the car, at me. Strangest feeling you've ever had, I can tell you. I looked very dead, broken neck by the look of it. Strangely, I wasn't distressed. Surprised, confused, curious, but not distressed. I heard the voice again telling me my escort had arrived. Well, I could barely believe it. It was my cousin Chris. He died of a heart condition when he was 23. We'd been so close, lived on the same street, went to the same schools, did everything together. We were like brother and sister. I was so devastated when he died. Took me years to come to terms with the loss. And now here he was, larger as bloody life. What's your cuz, he said, and smiled the biggest, wildest grin ever. I thought, I can't believe it. It is really you. Of course it is, you daft bugger. Who else do you expect it to be, he said, laughing. Laughing? I didn't even know you could laugh when you were dead. Never thought about it. Come on, he says. We can't hang about here. Things to do and all that. What do I do, I said. How do I move? Like you just did, he says. Just think about it and it's done. Nothing. Shut your eyes, he says, all exasperated. He never was very patient. Just shut your eyes and I'll do the rest. So I did. I felt him hold my hand. Hold my hand, I tell you. See, I never thought that was possible either. Never had cause to think about it being dead and still able to feel. His hand felt warm and a funny feeling went through me. Total acceptance of the situation would just about describe it. Then we were moving very fast, but I wasn't the least bit scared. I had my eyes shut and they were remaining that way until we reached wherever we were going. Next thing I know, we're surrounded by people, all moving about, looking as though they knew what was going on. I'd opened my eyes by this time and asked where we were. Arrivals, Chris said. and looked at my face. I know, he laughed. I thought that too when I arrived. I looked around, and I tell you without a word of a lie, it was like Grand Central Station. People everywhere. You mean all these people have died today? Yep, he said. And keep close because there's more arriving every minute. Don't want you getting lost. There were so many, he explained, because everyone has an escort. Everyone is met by someone they know. I looked around at all these people. Some were looking a little bewildered, it's true, but none were upset. Absolutely none. You'd think people would be wailing and carrying on alarmingly because they had to leave their families, but from what I could see, not a bit of it. Everyone appeared accepting their lot and were obviously happy to see whoever had come for them. Chris interrupted my thoughts and said, some do get upset, of course, especially when they've had to leave children, but mostly they're relieved to be free of whatever caused their death, and mightily relieved to find they do survive bodily death. I know just what he meant. I mean, I'd thought about it, usually at someone else's funeral, but I never dwelled on the subject. I mean, when you're in your prime, you don't think about death, do you? At least you try not to, because it seems so far away. Leastways you hope it is. But you never know. I mean, when I set off that morning, I never had a clue. If I did, I'd never have bought those concert tickets. But now I can go to a concert any time I like. Best seats too. When you've been here a while, everything is available to you. Want to go to a football match? No problem. Want to go and see what the family's up to? No problem. Deaf? No problem. I don't mean to trivialise death when I say that. It's just that dying, the actual passing over bit, is not a problem. Not at all. I don't remember feeling a thing. I truly don't. I was pulled out seconds before impact. Apparently that's what happens to everyone who goes the way I did, or anything equally traumatic like a plane crash or falling off a mountain. They don't feel it. I suppose it's a bit like a signal goes out into the ether. Incoming, and someone is dispatched to whip out your body so you don't feel a thing. I'm grateful for that, let me tell you. And let me tell you this. There is nothing to fear. Absolutely nothing to fear about death at all.